There's something magical about Christmas that never fades, even as trends come and go. This year, we're taking a nostalgic journey, a return to the golden days of holiday charm. Welcome to Vintage Christmas Revival, thrifted treasures in timeless style. This story isn't about buying new, but about rediscovering the beauty of what already exists. From antique ornaments to retro tableware, we'll breathe new life into the forgotten, transforming the past into a stunning present. Join me as we explore how to make your home feel like a cozy vintage Christmas postcard without spending a fortune. Vintage Christmas decor has a soul. It whispers stories of generations past, when celebrations were heartfelt, handmade, and steeped in tradition. Think of mercury glass ornaments reflecting candlelight, or faded tinsel garlands shimmering softly. These pieces evoke warmth that modern plastic decor simply can't replicate. By reviving vintage Christmas style, we aren't just decorating, we're honoring history. Each thrifted find becomes a bridge between eras, carrying with it the quiet joy of simpler times. The magic of vintage lies in imperfection, in the wear and patina that tell us this piece has lived, loved, and lasted. Every vintage Christmas begins with a good hunt. Thrift stores, flea markets, and estate sales are treasure troves waiting to be explored. The trick is to shop with both patience and imagination. Maybe you'll find a box of delicate glass baubles from the 1950s, or a dusty ceramic reindeer longing for a second act. Look beyond the dirt and chipped paint. These flaws are often what make an item unique. Bring along inspiration photos, but stay open to surprise discoveries. The true beauty of thrifting is that no two finds or Christmases will ever be the same. Once you've gathered your vintage gems, the restoration begins. A gentle cleaning, a dab of glue, or a touch of gold paint can bring forgotten pieces back to life. Even tarnished brass or yellowed lace can be revitalized with a little care and creativity. Don't aim for perfection, aim for character. A crack in a ceramic Santa or a faded ornament ribbon doesn't detract from its charm, it enhances it. The process of reviving old items reminds us that beauty often lies not in newness, but in endurance. You're not just decorating, you're preserving history. When designing your vintage Christmas look, start with color. Classic tones like deep red, pine green, cream, and gold set the nostalgic mood. But for mid-century lovers, think teal, blush pink, or mint colors that define the 1950s holiday aesthetic. Mixing eras is part of the fun. Pair muted Victorian hues with pops of retro brightness for a layered time-traveling feel. The goal is to create a palette that feels familiar yet fresh, warm yet whimsical. Let your chosen colors guide your thrift hunts, so your finds come together in harmony rather than chaos. The Christmas tree is where the vintage story truly unfolds. Start with simple string lights, warm white for an old-world glow, or large multicolor bulbs for that 1960s nostalgia. Then, layer in your thrifted ornaments, glass balls, handmade trinkets, and family heirlooms. Mix sizes and textures to create visual depth. Add tinsel sparingly for sparkle, or garlands made from popcorn and cranberries for a rustic touch. The goal isn't symmetry, it's soul. A vintage tree feels lived in, collected over years, and filled with memories. Let every ornament tell a story of Christmas past. Decorating isn't just about the big tree. It's also about small, thoughtful details. Create cozy corners where nostalgia blooms. Perhaps a side table with stacked antique books, a candle holder shaped like an angel, or a vintage record player softly spinning Christmas classics. Layer lace doilies, mix old frames with sepia-toned photos, and add a sprig of pine or holly for a touch of nature. These vignettes make your space feel curated, not cluttered. Every corner becomes a conversation piece, a little glimpse into your revived Christmas wonderland. A vintage Christmas table is where memories meet magic. Dust off that thrifted china with delicate gold rims. Mix and match plates. Mismatched is charming when done with intention. Pair them with linen napkins, crystal glasses, and brass candlesticks for an elegant touch. Add vintage ornaments as name tags or tuck sprigs of rosemary into napkin rings for a natural accent. The table doesn't need to be grand. It needs to feel heartfelt. Each piece, old or new, contributes to the story. A meal shared under the warm glow of history and candlelight. Textiles are an easy way to infuse vintage warmth. Think crocheted throws, embroidered tablecloths, or plaid wool blankets draped over chairs. You can even turn old curtains or fabric remnants into festive pillow covers. Visit thrift stores for forgotten linens, softly faded but full of character. Mixing textures, lace, velvet, flannel, creates a tactile richness that feels both cozy and timeless. These fabrics don't just decorate, they comfort. They invite guests to sit, to linger, and to feel the nostalgia of Christmas as it once was. Lighting transforms everything. Instead of modern LEDs, try to capture the glow of vintage illumination. Use thrifted lamps with warm bulbs or repurpose lanterns with faux candles. String fairy lights across mantels and windows, but keep the tones warm and gentle. The goal is a soft, amber glow that flatters every corner. You can even find vintage-style bulb strands at thrift stores, reminiscent of the lights that once framed classic holiday windows. Remember, vintage Christmas lighting is never harsh. It's cozy, flickering, and romantic. Blend your thrifted finds with natural touches for balance. Pine cones, dried oranges, cinnamon sticks, and evergreen branches add authenticity to your vintage decor. Combine them with antique bowls or glass jars to create charming displays. The organic textures of nature soften the glimmer of glass and metal, evoking the feel of an old countryside Christmas. This union of nature and nostalgia keeps the look grounded, reminding us that the most beautiful decor doesn't always come from a store. It often comes from the world around us. No vintage Christmas is complete without the music. Dust off old records or curate a playlist of classics. Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole, and Frank Sinatra set the perfect tone. The gentle crackle of a vinyl record or the soulful harmony of timeless carols transports your home straight into a bygone era. Sound is a powerful form of decor. It sets the emotional atmosphere. As you decorate or host friends, let the melodies of the past fill the air and complete the revival of your vintage Christmas dream. You don't have to find every piece. You can make your own vintage-inspired decor. Try creating ornaments from lace scraps, dried flowers, or sheet music. Paint thrifted frames in antique gold and fill them with retro Christmas cards. You can even upcycle old tins into candle holders or advent calendars. The beauty of DIY lies in personalization. You're adding your touch to the legacy of vintage style. Handmade items give your Christmas decor authenticity and heart, merging creativity with tradition. One of the most beautiful lessons of a vintage Christmas is to embrace imperfection. Scratched ornaments, worn fabric, and chipped edges aren't flaws, they're marks of time. They remind us that Christmas isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about warmth, nostalgia, and authenticity. In a world obsessed with newness, Choosing the old is a gentle act of love for the planet, for craftsmanship, and for the stories behind every object. Reviving a vintage Christmas isn't just stylish, it's sustainable. By reusing, repurposing, and thrifting, you're keeping waste out of landfills and honoring the craftsmanship of previous generations. This approach turns decorating into a meaningful act of stewardship. Each second-hand piece you display represents a small victory for the environment and a beautiful nod to a slower, more mindful way of celebrating the holidays. Vintage style is not only timeless, it's also kind to the earth. As you step back to admire your vintage Christmas home, take in the warmth that no store-bought decor could ever match. Every ornament, every thrifted treasure, every flickering light tells a story of history, heart, and revival. This is more than a design style. It's a celebration of continuity, connection, and creativity. So this season, don't chase trends. Instead, embrace tradition. Let the spirit of vintage Christmas revival remind you that the most beautiful holidays are built not from what's new, but from what endures love, memory, and timeless style.